high cases, of course, are expected in New South Wales again today. Thousands continued to gather at parks, beaches, cafes and supermarkets despite the pleas from authorities to stay at home. Police handed out 335 infringement notices in the 24 hours to Saturday morning as people increasingly use takeaway purchases to gather with other households. Residents in Bondi are being targeted, and police will also shift their focus to the western suburb of Bankstown in the southwest, Manly, Fairybower on the northern beaches. It comes as the state recorded its worst day since the pandemic began, as the Delta strain spreads to a record number of people. It's now infiltrated the regions, promoting a snap lockdown in the Northern Tablelands.
It was grim news from the offset, and the Health Minister knew it. It took 5 minutes into the New South Wales Daily Update for Brad Hazzard to deliver the day's case numbers.
Not so good news. To 8 p.m. last night, we had 319 locally acquired cases,
as well as 5 deaths. It's the worst day for the state since the start of the pandemic. 194 of those are under investigation. The Delta strain has infiltrated the regions. Thousands of people living in Armidale in the Northern Tablelands will enter a snap 7-day lockdown after 2 cases were recorded. One, a woman who travelled from Newcastle.
If I were living in that area, I would be actually not going out of my house today.
4 new cases have been detected in the Hunter, New England region. The John Hunter Emergency Department, now a major exposure site.
Anyone who was at the emergency department between 8:40 p.m. on the 5th of August and 1:50 a.m. on the 6th of August is a close contact and must get tested and isolate for 14 days.
In Greater Sydney, Canterbury Bankstown has become the epicentre of the outbreak after case numbers declined in Fairfield.
We're very concerned about Canterbury Bankstown. We've had 489 cases in the last week, so it's our most prominent LGA.
Household gatherings in the LGA remain a serious concern. Police revealing people are using the local supermarkets as a place to gather and congregate.
What we need people to do is to understand that they are a part of the solution to what is a very challenging time.
You can't leave our health staff continually to be having to search where you've been, what you've been doing. It's not fair to the community.
In a major intervention, Australia's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Paul Kelly, has told New South Wales to go harder to help reduce rising case numbers and mobility.
There's clearly a need for a circuit breaker. I've had many discussions with my colleague in New South Wales around that.
The Health Minister disagrees.
Just stay at home. That's the circuit breaker. And I think the PM has said that many times as well, as has the Premier. The key here is to stay at home and get vaccinated.
New South Wales has reached a vaccine milestone. Almost 50% of the adult population over 16 have received their first dose. On Sunday, any supermarket or food supply worker can get their AstraZeneca vaccine at Sydney Olympic Park if they book online. Danica Di Giorgio, Sky News, Sydney.